is going to be coming audio. Let's see. Okay. So there's a highlight button. There are filters. It's awkward. Okay. And this is what's this little button? There it goes. Okay, it swaps the camera around. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's back up a little bit. The camera's a little high. Pop that like that. Okay, I think that camera height should be just fine. Let's see here. Let's try moving this around a little bit. If there's anyone in here, I would love to know if my audio is coming through. So I have these little earbuds in right now, but I don't know if my mic quality is coming through. It's my first time doing one of these vertical lives on YouTube, so still kind of getting everything figured out. And if you happen to be here from Twitter or whatever, and you happen to know me from there, you might be a new person to Magic. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. But in the meantime, just using this as an excuse to exercise and try out this new feature. So, hi, how you doing? Don't really have anything really planned for this. I'm just kind of wanted to use this as an excuse to try out this feature while I get my exercise in for the day. My dogs are all very tired and sleepy. They're all like strewn across the house. I've got two of them right in front of me right here. Can anyone hear the music that's playing as well? So I have some lo-fi music playing in the background. But try to see my dogs. Let's see if I can angle the camera just right. There they are. That's two of my dogs right there. There's my two dachshunds. The red one is Spud, and the black one is Bean. Let's see if I can find another one for you. Come with me. This one right here. That's Tundra. For some reason, she likes to sleep under the table. Maybe that's because that's where I do a lot of my work. Whenever I am sitting at the computer to get footage or doing any editing like that, I usually have that dog under the table next to me. But then there's also a border collie. Her name is River. He's 75. Another hider. Hey, Kane. Can you hear me okay? I don't know if my audio is coming through well enough or not. Hey, River. How you doing, buddy? Good girl. You can hear? That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. Favorite muscle? Kind of inconsistent. That's probably because I'm using my my Raycons to use as a microphone right now. I would be using my usual like flip mic, but that one's charging right now. But, what about the background audio? Because I'm playing some music on my television. As if. I played some music on my television. I don't know if that's coming through or not. To answer your question, as far as my favorite muscle, I actually really enjoy working legs more than anything else. My legs are actually probably one of my favorite things to exercise. But I don't really have equipment or anything like that at the house. Let me modify that a little bit. There we go. All right, I put it down to about 30%. A little overwhelming? Okay, good to know. I just turned it down a little bit. Let me know if it's still overwhelming or not. For me here, it's a little low. Now, I was showing people my dogs. I'm very happy with my dogs, and they're all kind of sleeping across the house. I'm just doing some light exercises and wanted to chat with people, see if anyone has any questions for me, that kind of thing, while I'm doing this. This is a little awkward for me because I'm not usually the kind of person to like perform in front of like a camera for anything other than the content that I make, the magic related content I make. I mean, so I don't know if nervous is the right word, but it's different. It's definitely a different situation. It's typically when I go to the gym, I have my ears in, and I'm making no eye contact with anyone. I'm making no audio contact with anyone. I don't talk to anyone, unless I'm there with my wife, of course. I'll talk with her. But if I'm wandering the gym and trying to get my exercises in, I'm not interfacing with anyone at all the entire time I'm there. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one like that, though. But for all the years that I've gone to various gyms, I would like to go during times when no one's there. Like I used to go to 24-hour fitness, and I would go at like 2 in the morning when there's literally maybe one other person there total. And that was my favorite time to go, just because it would give me free access to anything that I wanted. My mouth posture? What do you mean by my mouth posture? I'm curious. Is the camera a little too high? Thank you, Corrosion. I appreciate that. That's nice of you to say. I'm curious about what you mean by mouth posture. Maybe my jawline is not being seen correctly because of the angle. These are a little bit heavier. This one fits a little bit better for me. I like to use the smaller ones just for warming up. I don't have a whole lot of equipment here at the house. Just a few free weights. If I want to do anything that's like really strenuous, that's when I go to the gym with my wife. She's been on her own fitness journey these last few months, and she's been doing really, really well. I'm very proud of her. And so whenever I have the opportunity to go with her, I do. Even if it's just for moral support. Lately, mew. I've heard people talking about mewing lately. I find it kind of interesting. And yes, you're absolutely right. Posture is very important. Ankle and everything. Barely. I wouldn't be surprised if that is surprising to you. Just in my daily life, I get misgendered quite often, actually. But it doesn't bother me. Call me what you want, just don't call me late for dinner. That kind of thing. Yeah, I don't blame you there. I mean, I personally don't lift to like try to like visually impress other people. I mean, I'm already married, and I impress my wife when she says so. But posture is very important. I will not argue that. I've always chosen fitness as not necessarily a way to like always look good, because don't get me wrong, I am pretty vain, but I've always done it as a way to just make sure that as I age more gracefully. Because I never want to be the person that grew old and suddenly couldn't take care of myself. Because I don't have kids or anything like that. I don't plan on having kids at all. I just want to make sure that I'm able to handle myself once I get up there in age. Yeah, I agree with you. Let me see here. See if I roll my shoulders back a little bit. That might help a little bit. Let's just do my upward presses. I do appreciate your feedback, though. Don't get me wrong. Any kind of feedback is useful feedback. But I mean, this is just a trial stream. I just wanted to see how this new vertical mode of streaming works for YouTube. So I just received a notification about this feature, I think yesterday. So I wanted to see how well it works. And so far I'm okay with it. It looks pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad. Probably just a moment. So, I assume audio is sounding a little bit better now. Ears versus music playing. Nice, bud. You feeling okay? Is this fun? This is the first dog I've ever had that was just my dog, not like a family dog. Well, I don't take offense to that at all. Like, I am getting up there in age, and I want to, like I said earlier, I do want to do what I can to make sure I age gracefully. Okay. But I would say, if anything, it's probably this side of my face that is aging a little bit more than the other side. And I think that might have to do with this being the side of my face that is by the window whenever I'm driving. And I am out driving quite a lot. See, I'm a delivery driver for a snack company. And so I'm out on the road quite often. I do actually, yeah. Typically though, I actually sleep on this side. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But it could also be a little bit of the lighting too. Typically I sleep on this side. This side is usually where the sunlight hits me though when I'm driving around. So, I think I'm just going to keep this going for as long as I am doing my exercises. Once I get finished with my exercises, I need to sit down and get some footage rolling for my next video. And what I'm in the middle of right now is I am putting together some beginner videos for people just finding the gaming Magic Arena. And so far, reception has been good. I've been seeing a lot of people coming over to the game from another game, so there's kind of a decent influx of players. And I want to get out at least one more beginner-friendly video before I move on to other videos. So I've just got one more of those to put out, and then after that, I've got a few more advanced deck idea videos to put out after that. So that's my plan for tonight at least. So let me get a few more sets knocked out. And I think I'm gonna go work on that. Let's see what functions this thing has. If I tap on that, does it show anything? No. Okay. Sunscreen, huh? Well, yeah. Sunscreen would probably be a good idea. I've never really used sunscreen other than like days when you go to the beach or things like that. So it's not really something that's like in my head to do on a daily basis. But that's actually not a bad idea. Thank you for suggesting that. That's funny. YouTube is trying so hard to be like TikTok that they're kind of like pulling out all the stops. So like even here, like I'm playing around with the settings here, and there's like a whole bunch of like filters and stuff to apply. Let's see, like let's try this one right here. Yeah, so you put little filters on to change what your visuals look like. Oh God, I don't want that. Let's take that off. SPF lotions. You know, my wife might actually have a pretty good idea of what lotions to use. I'll talk to her about that. Maybe she knows something I don't. Okay, I think I got one more second. Finish with just some shoulder work. You got a lot of good advice. I appreciate you speaking up. Yeah, absolutely. I've actually learned a lot from my wife. I've been married, this is our 5th year being married together, but I've been with her since 2011, and I've learned a lot of like care tips and things like that from my wife. which has been an invaluable source of information. And honestly, males don't really get taught that kind of stuff growing up. So it's kind of easy to try and do something and then just completely miss the mark just because you don't have the right information. Yeah, there's a lot to learn, and thankfully you're growing up in a world that is rife with information. This year I'll be 42. I didn't start any kind of like fitness training or lifting or anything like that until I think it was like 27. So I've had a lot of like wasted potential years, you know, because like typically you want to start taking care of yourself as soon as possible. But I, for the longest time, didn't really think about anything like that. It wasn't until I was like 27, 28 that I started taking my fitness more seriously. And even back then, there was a lot of good information out there, but there's a lot of misinformation out there too. So you kind of had to pick and choose where you get your information from and cross-examine that with other types of information and make sure not to listen to like bro science and shit like that. Good. Like I said, I've been with my wife for 5 years of marriage, and I believe 14 years of just being together. So we got together in 2011. So it's been a wild ride. Are you doing wrestling? Oh, awesome. Yeah, then you definitely want to ramp up your exercises then. But there is such a thing as overtraining too. So you gotta find that balance. But when I was lifting a lot heavier in my early 30s, I found a really good balance doing 4 to 5 times a week, working out for like just about an hour and a half. Just making sure that I would work out to failure whenever I was doing anything, because otherwise it would feel like I was wasting time. That's smart. Yeah. If you are hitting growth spurts, and honestly, what I found over the years is that you want to listen to your body when it's telling you things. If it's telling you that you need to stop, then stop before you hurt yourself. If it's telling you that you've got a little bit more in you, then go for it. Like with my wife's fitness journey right now, it's like I'm finding myself telling her all the things that I would tell myself back in the day. She's working really hard to better herself. And while she's making fantastic progress, I'm very proud of her. She does get a little crazy with it. Like she'll want to go and work out for an hour on the treadmill, and then like later in the day, she's like restless and has more energy, and she wants to go back again. And I'm like, great, that's fantastic, but I just don't want her to hurt herself. Because she's in that magical spot of fitness when the exercises. Your body starts to crave them, and you're starting to see the changes in your body, and like it gets addicting. It's like you want to keep going and pushing yourself harder and harder every single day because you start to see those changes, and it's intoxicating. When I first started working out, I weighed like 145 pounds. I was incredibly skinny, and I worked out with the purpose of putting on weight. because I was just too damn skinny. It was like I was getting sick all the time. I was not happy with who I was, and putting on weight was very important to me. And then once I started seeing the pounds pile on, 5 pounds at a time, I was like, okay, this is intoxicating. I can get used to this. I like this. Let's keep going. But I had to pull myself back when my body was telling me, fucking stop it. Kind of the growth spurt when I first started boxing. So, ooh, yeah, I can imagine. If I could change how you thought yourself. Yeah, that's what I found out, because like, I had the mentality when I was young that I'll find someone that likes me for me. Like it doesn't matter if I'm skinny, if I'm fat, if I'm tall, if I'm small. It doesn't matter. None of that mattered. What mattered was like my personality. The thing is, like, it's a lot easier to attract someone to your personality to begin with if you have like a base level of just attraction. And it's harder to attract someone when you don't take care of yourself. And it's like, it reminds me of that old saying, is that you gotta learn to love yourself before anyone else is going to love you. And I found that to be honestly true. If it's your body, make it the best you can. Just don't let your egos. Yeah. And lifting with your ego is a real thing, real dangerous thing too. Because like you'll see these heavy weights, and you want to lift them, and you'll end up lifting them with like poor form or with no form whatsoever, and you'll pull a Frank Reynolds and you just start jerking around, you pull a muscle, and then any progress you were making is thrown out the window, because then you're stuck on the sidelines for 2 weeks because you pulled your back or you pulled a bicep. And I've heard stories of people tearing their muscles, like detaching the muscle from the bone. It's like that's just terrifying to me. I would never want to push myself to a point where something like that was impossible. Yes, it will. And you will end up with a shorter lifespan the longer that you let that reality sit. All right, last one. Lost a little bit there. All right, another round. Finish this. Here we go. Okay. All right. I think that is going to be it for me tonight. I've got a lot of work to do. I want to be the best I can be. I would hate to look back and say I could do better. I do it now sometimes, and I don't want to have to look back now. Yeah. You never want to be saddled with the thought of what if, right? What if? It's pretty scary. I would always want to look back favorably on my life, and so far I do. I mean, my early years weren't nearly as good as my current years. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like I was very skinny, very sick all the time. Like I'm very well these days. Got a wonderful wife. Got these four dogs here with me, keeping me company whenever I want. Got a roof over my head, food in my stomach. Yeah, I think I got a pretty decent life. Nothing too glamorous, but nothing too terrible either. But anyways, so Mr. Robert Woodruff, I wish you all the luck in your fitness journey, and thank you for hanging out with me while I do this. This is a short stream. I'll probably do longer ones in the future, but I just wanted to use this as a test to see how this whole vertical streaming thing works. And so far, not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right. So, yeah, take care of yourself. I'll see you later. Let's see, how do I end this? That's a share button. That's a poll button. There we go. Let's hit this button over here. Yeah, we'll stop right